Hey, it's Friday and this is an update video. So I get a lot of questions about what we're doing, what's changing, and this 8-barrel rack, it's about 400 gallons, is our newest Scud barrel system. So it's pretty new. The water's very dark right now because I've added a ton of leaf litter in the last couple days. Lots of leaf litter in the bottom. See the Scuds? I think there's a little guppy down in that one. But all those things cruising around, those are Scuds. Down in the very bottom, you see that big square. That is a 10-inch by 10-inch pot, net pot for, I've got it full of real coarse gravel to get some surface area. Leaf litter, big old chunk of guppy grass. So they're all 8 set up pretty much the same. The top row's filled, drains down, fills the bottom row. Let's look at the other side. The bottom row of barrels drains into this 2-inch PVC pipe, which drains into that temporary little sump, which is a bucket. I probably need to make that bigger. And then the very last one just drains into there with the little black hose. The pump pumps it up, and each barrel is being filled by this. So, shut it off, turn it on, whatever. So again, bunch of leaf litter down in the bottom. They don't need that black water specifically. It's just kind of a side effect of putting in a bunch of new leaves. Personally, I don't care for the super dark colored water. Anyways, the 8 55-gallon drums, they've got about, where the water level is, it's probably about 50 gallons each. So there's 400 gallons for Scuds mainly. Another lately or improvement or addition to the system would be these 8 50-gallon troughs. These are Rubbermaid feeding troughs. They were connected with those 2 smaller ones and the 2 blue barrels. They were all one system. Now the top 2 I have disconnected, and they're on their own little system right now because that's a little isopod breeding adventure. So we'll look at that in a sec. But the bottom 6, 2 barrels and those 2 little black troughs, that's all one system. They will eventually be connected to the big blue barrel system. Now let's take a look at some isopods. So I have them all over the place. That's my latest interest, is aquatic isopods. They've been on the radar a long time. I've got a pretty big breeding project going on with them. Where are they at? There's one. So, these 10-gallon tanks, these 8 10-gallon tanks there, those are all full of isopods. I've got a ton of isopods up in the experiment jars as well. And then in the, well, we'll call it 100 gallons combined. Well, let's go run up there and look. There's one more thing I want to show you after the isopods that's kind of cool. Again, just put a ton of leaf litter in here, so the water's super dark. That's not necessary. Let's try to get in on some of these. It's hard to see them. There we go. Some crawling up the side. There's a ton of them in here. I'm guessing around 500 or more. Most of them are going to be in the leaf litter. They love leaf litter. This is some new leaf litter I just put in yesterday, and it's got the water looking pretty dark. So I'll get some better footage of them later. But aquatic isopods are definitely going to be in the future. Cultures available. So the drain that would normally drain down, I have connected to this drain that would normally drain down. So these 2 are connected via that, and I've got this airlift. So here's a little down tube Got a little air stone in there. The air bubbles carry the water up and it spits out over here. Not a ton of flow, but again, I don't need a ton of flow. It's just kind of, and then it's going to fill up this trough, which then drains into here. And because this one's higher, because they're connected via this tube, it outlets right there. So a little bit of flow, not a lot, doesn't need a lot. Let me look at isopods one more time. Let's see if I can find a big one here, maybe. There's a cherry shrimp. Maybe. All right, enough of that blurry footage. So I'll get some good videos or pictures of the isopods. Let me show you one more thing here. Oh, well, two more things. In these other ones, this is mainly hornwort. Got a ton of hornwort underneath of all this salvinia. There's cherry shrimp and snails and all kinds of good stuff. I've got a lot of guppies in here as well. Here's some guppy grass. Those two barrels are all scuds. Look at all them guppies, gorgeous. This barrel is acting as the sump. Here's the pump that's filling up the top ones and everything's draining down. That's draining over here. Eventually, I'm going to hook that up to the main system and this trough will be filled up like the others. The bottom barrels, those are isolated from anything else. They're not hooked up to anything. That's where I'm soaking a lot of leaf litter and scud balls that are going out for sale. Oh, the other thing I wanted to show you up in here, this little tank is kind of isolated. Well, all these tanks are not hooked up together or anything, but this one's actually got a lid because it's my aquatic insect predator tank. So right here, this is a water scorpion. So he's actually sitting, he has those, and I'll get some better video, but this is just a little update video. He's got those little praying mantis type claws. He's waiting for a guppy or some tasty treats to swim by to ambush. So those are pretty cool. And they have this long little snorkel-like tail that gives them the appearance of a scorpion. Now his was broke off when I found him. He actually was collected on accident. His was broke off, so it's very short, so it doesn't stick out. But see that little tiny, it's about a 1/4 inch long. Normally they're almost the length of their body. That's what they would stick up out of the water like a snorkel to breathe. So he's got to stick it. It's not sticking out now, but when he goes to breathe, he's got to really get his butt up there. Yeah, sorry for all the glare. These little update videos are kind of supposed to be short, sweet, no editing, just to give you a little update of what's going on. But isopod culture is probably coming out first of the year, maybe in limited quantities, maybe not. Yeah, check out the website, Phillips Fishworks at phillipsfishworks.com. You can email me at phillipsfishworks@gmail.com. Thanks, bye.